Everyone and their mamas know what is on the horizon of Honkai Star Rail. Not only is the story a good indicator of that, but also the fact of the matter is Hoyoverse already revealed what's to come to us. Yo, what up, Toshi here. Now is a good time to talk about the upcoming characters. When you look at a character in Honkai Star Rail, there's various different ways of classifying them. First, you look at the character themselves, and then you look at the element, which also plays into the uniqueness of each and every single character. There's 4 stars and there's 5 stars. You probably played other gacha games where there is 3-star variants of various different characters, but Hoyoverse games are the exception to the rule here. There's only going to be 4-star and 5-star characters. The reason why this is important is because we have to take one thing into consideration. There is a 4-star lightning character and there is a 5-star lightning character. Both are going to be AoE DPS options. But given the nature of the rarities in this game, we understand that the 5-star version is always going to be superior to the 4-star version. Now, you could argue in Genshin Impact that is different, but I think Hoyoverse probably learned their lesson from that game and are going to change around the strengths of the characters depending on the rarities in this game. So I really wouldn't expect a 4-star to outmatch a 5-star character going forward. With that also in mind, we have another character to the Harmony path, and that is going to be Yukong. But what makes this even more interesting is that Yukong is a different rarity from the already existing rarities of different elements that we have currently in the Path of Harmony. And I think this is going to stand true for every class to come. You're going to have many different characters and many different paths, all of which are going to be different elements just to fill out the Pokédex. And I think this is very important going forward because of one reason. Given the nature of the game, you probably want to pull the characters that entice you the most. And with there being characters coming along the way, we kind of can pinpoint exactly what is to pop up. Now, as you all know, Hoyoverse loves to drip market their characters. We haven't received any drip marketing yet aside from the Kafka, Luocha, and the Blade drip marketing that Hoyoverse revealed themselves. But I think we're slated for another one coming up, and this will stand true as soon as we get the next patch. Yukong was a character that has always been in the game. I didn't know it, and you probably didn't know it either, but this character was not in any past CBTs of the game as far as I'm concerned. So with Yukong being a character that ended up being on one of the light codes, let us know that she was going to be a playable character or have some relevance in the story at some point. And well, that stands true to this day. She is the character that is currently on a 4-star on the rate up banner for Luocha. That only solidifies my point. Characters that are in the light cones will probably be playable at some point, or have some relevance to the story. I hope it's not the latter though. I hope that the characters that are on the light cone end up being playable. Kafka, who has always been known to be a playable character ever since the early CBTs of Honkai Star Rail, she is the premier character of the game. Everyone knows her. She's probably going to be the highest selling banner, and I don't really expect it to not be because I think she is a highly anticipated character, and I think overall she is a highly rated character in everything, especially in the looks department. But you can agree with me that whether or not this character ended up being in the past CBTs, we could both agree that she probably was going to be playable based on a couple of factors. First of all, her appearance in the story. In the beginning of the story, you see Kafka alongside Silverwolf. Silverwolf ended up being a character we got last banner. Kafka will be a character we probably get next banner. And the reason being because A, Hoyoverse already drip marketed Kafka to us. B, she is featured on a light code, so it lets us know she's going to have some relevance to the story or maybe be playable altogether. And then C, given the nature of how much attention to detail has been put into the design of the character, I don't think Hoyoverse will waste the potential that this character has to make them tons of money. And that stands true because this character will probably have the highest selling banner of all time. Now, what makes this very interesting is that this character right here, Luocha, was revealed to us, but we didn't know that he was going to be playable until they revealed him to us. The reason why this is important is because he was always on this 4-star light cone. This light cone you can get in the game, and it's a very powerful option for Nahirity-based characters. The real kicker here is that he wasn't in any of the past CBTs of the game as far as I'm concerned, and he also didn't have any relevance to the story. So for Hoyoverse to drip market it to us, and for him to be featured on one of the light cones, we can pinpoint exactly what other characters will be revealed to us in the form of drip marketing, or be revealed to us in the nature of just being shown in the story, or just being playable in general. If we take a look at this light cone, we see that the character on the screen here has an affiliation with Sushing in some way. Maybe these two characters stumbled upon each other, or maybe they both know one another. Whether or not this character has an affiliation with Sushing, we'll know in due time. Maybe this character will be drip marketed to us like Luca was and Kafka and along with Blade. And the reason why I bring that up is because given the nature of the design of the character and with her being on a light cone, that lets us know she's going to either have some relevance to the story or be a playable character altogether. And I think just by looking at the design of the character alone, you can pinpoint a couple of things. First of all, she's a streamer because she's using a phone stick. I don't know what these things are called by heart. I forgot. It's been a very long time since I've seen someone use one of these things, but she's using it as a means of holding her phone because she's doing a live streaming of some sort. Maybe she's on Instagram Live by the looks of it. There probably isn't Instagram Live in the sphere of Hoyoverse, but there is cell phones, which I found very interesting. Anyways, given the nature of the character and her design, a lot of attention to detail was put into the design of the character. And I think with the design alone, that lets me know that she probably is going to be playable. Because if you just look at how good she looks and how much attention to detail has been put into the design of the character, now whether or not she is drip marketed to us, or whether or not she's just shown in the story alongside other characters in their story quests, only time will tell. So that brings me to my last point. I love the waistline of this character, I love the bare shoulders of this character, and I love the personality this character has. Given how good she looks, and the fact of the matter, the attention to detail that was put into the design of the character lets me know she's going to be playable at some point. I just don't imagine this character being an NPC. Now, given the design of her outfit, she seems like she's going to be a higher up in some society. Now, I know there is a genius society with Herda, but there probably is other societies out there, and I imagine that this character will probably be a part of that different society. Now, whether or not we get this character in the form of drip marketing, or whether or not, we probably will get this character in the form of drip marketing, because that's usually how Hoyoverse reveals all of their characters early. But there probably is already leaks if there was going to be a playable version for this character or not. And if you've seen those leaks, you probably already know something that I don't know. But all I can say is that I'm saving all my pools in anticipation for this character being playable. And if this character is not to be playable, then I would end up being best friends with these Signora mains. Absolutely miserable. Going forward, you probably will be seeing characters that are playable in the story in some capacity. That's usually how the companies behind these gacha games design their games, or the design philosophy of the games behind these companies. You see, a lot of the time is whenever you have a character that is playable in the story, they will appear during that patch, and their relevance in the story is during that patch, or maybe it's before or after. There is a lot of nuances when it comes to this. You see, Hoyoverse games are very different from the general gacha games. You don't get to see Hu Tao in a Santa hat, and you definitely don't get to see Kafka in a bathing suit. But you do get characters that have a relevance to the story. And I think given how good the stories are behind these Hoyoverse games, you probably can excuse the fact that you don't get to see Kafka in a bathing suit. Just think about it. You don't get to see your favorite characters in various holiday outfits. Now you could argue Toshi. In Honkai Impact, we celebrate most of the various different worldwide holidays, but I would consider that to be the exception to the rule. Even though I love to see Bronya in a bathing suit. I'm going to stream often going forward on Twitch, twitch.tv/Toshio, the link will be in the description. Of course, let me know what characters you're going to be saving for going forward into the future of Honkai Star Rail, and what characters you're looking forward to being playable the most. For me, it's definitely the character that I show in every single video at this point. Thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your weekend. Peace.